Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second round of this year's British Saloon Car Championship. Today's race is coming from sunny Oulton Park here in Cheshire, England. Now, this racetrack is set in the grounds of the Oulton estate and certainly has a lot of ups and downs and off-camber corners to really test the drivers here today. Right, let's get straight into qualifying, shall we? Robin Smith has managed to put his Mustang on pole position, and Tony Fall has dragged his Mini into P2. John Sparrow in the Jaguar lines up alongside Mike Clark in his Mini on row 2. Dan Gurney in his Fairlane and Jackie Oliver in his Mustang makes up row 3. On row 4 we have Jackie Stewart and Gordon Spice. Row 5 are John Handley and Jim Clark's Cortina. Row 6 is an all-imp affair with Bernard Annette and John Markey. Row 7 is Charles Bridges and John Whitmore, and last in row 8 is Alan Moffat in his Ford Cortina. Right, as they're now all set up on the grid, let's get right down to the race, shall we? Okay, and the flag drops and away we go. Lots of wheel spin by just about everybody there, as we focus now on Alan Moffat's Cortina, and he's managed to pick up 2 places even before Lodge Corner. Okay, down and up through Deer Leap now, and Moffat's looking down the inside of Handley's Mini, and they touch. Oh, what was he thinking? Oh, and he's crashed into the imp. And Markey manages to keep it out of the wall, but only just. This is certainly a very exciting start to the race. And now with Robin Smith's Mustang out in the lead, as he's hurtling along the straight on the outside of Oulton Lake. He still has Tony Fall's Mini right behind him. He's certainly still in the picture, but does he have the speed of that Mustang? As they now head into Assetto corner, he runs a bit wide there, allowing Tony Fall to catch up, but I really don't think that Mini has got absolutely anything near the power that the Mustang has for the back straight here. And now we're with Alan Moffat as he dives down the inside of Gordon Spice's Mini and looks to be making a move on Jackie Oliver's Mustang as they head out onto the back straight. He certainly hasn't given up, and he looks to have caught a little bit as they head over the hill and down towards Knickerbrook. Into Knickerbrook now, and it looks like Oliver is looking for a way up the inside of Dan Gurney. And it looks like now Alan Moffat is trying to find a way past both of them. No, he doesn't have the acceleration, but as they come under the Dunlop Bridge, he looks to be on the outside of Jackie Oliver's Mustang. And through Druids as Gurney goes round the outside of Mike Clark's Mini, it looks like Alan Moffat is doing the same to Jackie Oliver's Mustang. Oh, and Moffat is run wide coming out of the corner, and he's out onto the grass. He keeps his foot in it as him and Jackie Oliver go either side of Mike Clark's Mini. Side by side, and they head into Lodge Corner, and Jackie Oliver just clips the grass on the inside, and they're still side by side all the way through and out and up through Deer's Leap and onto the start-finish straight. Jackie Oliver, he's turned into Alan Moffat. What was he thinking? That's just crazy move. He's out onto the grass. Can he keep it going and keep it out of the wall? He can, but that's an absolutely insane move there by Jackie Oliver. Maybe he didn't like driving side by side with Alan Moffat there, and with Jim Clark now as he heads down the avenue and into Cascades trying to fend off John Handley. He's really throwing it into the corner there, and you can see the rear left wheel lifting up as the car nosedives into Cascades. And as they head out onto the back straight now, Jim Clark's eyes will be firmly set ahead, going after his fellow Scotsman and teammate in the other Lotus Cortina. Heading down now to the Assetto corner, and he's not close enough to make a move, but John Whitmore certainly is as he goes around the outside of Bernard Annette's imp. Move done now, and he's off after John Handley's Mini. That Cortina certainly has the speed over the Mini coming over the hill now as they head down towards Knickerbrook, and it looks like the move's all done. Oh, but no, John Handley is not having any of that. He's a lot better on the brakes in that Mini, and he's managed to stay alongside John Whitmore. Now once again, John Whitmore's Cortina certainly has the speed over the Mini, but John Handley is not giving up that easily as he throws his Mini around the outside of Druids. Side by side as they come out of Druids, but again that Cortina has the legs over the Mini, and John Whitmore is back ahead before Lodge Corner. And there's John Marquez' Imp still rolling around at the back after that opening lap tussle with Alan Moffat. And here we are now with Alan Moffat as he heads down the front straight and into Old Hall Corner. As you can see now, he's gotten himself up into second place, down into the avenue and into Cascades, and a slight lock up there of the front left wheel as he's desperately trying to catch Robin Smith's Mustang in the lead. And here is John Whitmore as he looks round the outside of Jim Clark as they too head down the avenue and into Cascades. He can't get the move done there, but I'm sure he's going to stay in Jim Clark's slipstream as they head down the long straight towards Island Bend. If he can get close enough along this straight, I'm thinking he's going to make a move down into the Esso hairpin. Out of Island Bend now and hard on the brakes for the Esso corner. Oh, I think John Whitmore has locked up the front wheels and he runs a little bit wide, leaving the door wide open for John Marquez' Mini. Unfortunately, that Mini does not have the acceleration to take advantage of that mistake there by John Whitmore, and Whitmore keeps the position as they head out onto the back straight. Over the top of the hill now and down towards Knickerbrook. He's looking left, he's looking right, but he just can't seem to find a way past Jim Clark. And out of Knickerbrook and up Clay Hill, and their positions stay the same. And now we cut to Robin Smith, who has Alan Moffat round the outside looking into Lodge Corner. A lock up the brakes there by Alan Moffat, and he's not able to take the lead here. Down through Deer's Leap now, and that Mustang is certainly doing just that as Smith heads towards Old Hall Corner. Hard on the brakes now as he heads into Old Hall Corner, and you can really see just how much that Cortina catches up to Robin Smith's Mustang under the braking. Such a lot more nimble car than the Mustang. Down through the avenue and into Cascades. Moffat is much closer to the back of Alan Smith now. If Moffat can stick with Smith coming down this short straight here and through Island Bend, maybe he can get a cheeky little move into the Esso corner. Through Island Bend now and hard on the brakes for Esso, but he's just not close enough to make a move right there. Hammer down as they head out onto the back straight. The Mustang must have the advantage down the back straight, but Alan Moffat's Cortina, he's not going to give up anytime soon. Over the top of the hill now, and the tyres are barely keeping contact with the road. Robin Smith can't seem to shake that wily Cortina as they head down into Knickerbrook. Just listen to that Cortina hitting the rev limiter. Hard on the brakes now for Knickerbrook, and as you can see, Alan Moffat is able to catch up under braking, but still not close enough to make a move. You just feel it's coming. As we cut to the fight between Jackie Oliver and Dan Gurney, as they too head into Knickerbrook. This really is a battle of the beasts as Jackie Oliver has a look around the outside, but just can't seem to get the power down as good as Dan Gurney can, as they now head on up Clay Hill towards Druid's Corner. Down a few gears into Druid's Corner and they're almost bumper to bumper. And again Jackie Oliver goes a little bit wide as he's trying to get around the outside of Dan Gurney's much heavier Ford Fairlane. But Gurney sees that coming and he's able to shut the door. Under the bridge and then hard on the brakes for the Lodge Corner as Jackie Oliver throws his Mustang down the inside. Oliver makes it down the inside, but Gurney isn't giving up that easily as they go 2 by 2 through the corner and up through Deer Leap. Side by side down the start finish straight, but Gurney's Fairlane has just got that little bit more power and he's able to stay in front of Jackie Oliver's Mustang as they head into turn 1. And back to the Smith-Moffat fight for first place as they come through Island Bend. It looks to be the same old story. Moffat is able to catch Smith's Mustang through the corners and in the braking zones, but then Smith has Moffat's number down the straights. Out of Esso corner, and it looks like Moffat certainly has a better exit than Smith. As we jump back to the Gurney-Oliver fight for third place, as Oliver's diving around the outside of Esso Bend. Side by side through the bend, and it looks like Oliver's managed to get the power down to beat Gurney out of the corner. Is he going to be able to keep that lead down the long straight, where I feel that Fairline is going to have that little bit more power and a little bit more speed? Up over the crest of the hill and down the other side towards Knickerbrook, and it looks like Jackie Oliver has made the move stick. Well done. And there's Jim Clark's Cortina coming up over the top of the hill and down towards Knickerbrook. And it looks like Bernard Annette is having a look down the inside of the number 8 Jag of Charles Bridges. Annette and Bridges side by side through Knickerbrook, and it's a drag race up Clay Hill towards Druids Corner. Looks like the Jag has pulled a tiny advantage up Clay Hill, but Bernard Annette is not giving up as they go side by sides through Druids Corner. And as they exit Druids Corner, it looks like they're going to go 3 wide with Jim Clark's Cortina. Underneath the bridge now, and it looks like Annette has thought better of it as he tucks in behind Bridges and Clark as they head towards Lodge's Corner. Side by side through Lodge Corner and down into Deer's Leap, and Bridges has in fact made the move on Clark. As I'm being told that Alan Moffat did actually take the lead during all that, but unfortunately he ran wide, giving the lead back to Robin Smith, and by the looks of it he's lost a little bit of ground on the Mustang. Through Island Bend now, and you can see just how much time he has lost to Robin Smith's Mustang. Well, he caught him once before, maybe he can do it again, who knows. Out of the Esso corner now, and I'm sure Alan Moffat is asking for everything that Cortina's got to give. Let's just hope he isn't asking for too much. With Robin Smith's Mustang now as he heads up the hill on the back straight. Just listen to the roar of that V8 as it rumbles past, and then the screaming straight forward of that Ford Cortina. Down into Knickerbrook now, and unless my eyes deceive me, I really do think that Alan Moffat is that little bit closer to Robin Smith. I know he's given that Cortina everything he's got, but let's just hope he doesn't make another mistake and it all ends in disaster for him. Into Druids now, and Smith runs a little bit wide on entry, but Alan Moffat gets a much better run through the corner, and he's right up behind Smith's Mustang now. Under the bridge now and down the short straight towards Lodge. Under braking, and Moffat throws his Cortina up the inside. Side by side coming out of Lodge Corner as they head down towards Deer Leap now. It's a drag race down the start finish straight. But somehow Moffat manages to take the lead heading into the first turn. Oh, but he runs a bit wide. Is this the opportunity for Smith to get back at him? And as they head down the avenue towards Cascades, I think the move is done. Alan Moffat in his Ford Cortina has taken the lead here today. Smith coming through Cascades now, he looks to be manhandling that Mustang somewhat, and as you can see, Moffat has already managed to pull out at least a second gap over the Mustang. With Jackie Stewart's Lotus Cortina now, as he chases after the number 8 Jag of Charles Bridges, coming through Old Hall Corner. Down the avenue towards Cascades now, and I really think his biggest threat is going to be Bernard Annette in the Hillman Imp behind him. Annette not doing as good as he did last race. He's currently running around in 11th. The left side rear wheel of Stewart's car lifting up as they come through Cascades, and I think Annette has got a run on him coming out of the corner. Not the best view there as they come through Island Bend and head on down to the Esso hairpin. Annette dives it down the inside in Esso. Do they touch there? It's hard to say from this angle, but they certainly both run very wide coming out of the corner. Foot down hard now as they head onto the back straight and up the hill. It looks like the Cortina should have the legs on the Imp there, but Bernadette is certainly not going to give up that easily. Hard on the brakes for Knickerbrook, and it looks like Annette has gone a little bit wide, but thankfully he keeps his momentum and he manages to stay close to Stewart as they head up Clay Hill. Under the Dunlop Bridge and hard on the brakes for Druid's Corner. They certainly look evenly matched coming through the corner, but I think Annette has the better run coming out of it, along the short straight and towards the braking zone of Lodge Corner. And all the while this fight continues, Charles Bridges and his number 8 Jaguar is able to pull away. Down through Deer's Leap now and onto the front straight. Annette is trying desperately to stay in the slipstream of Stewart's Cortina ahead. As we cut to the leaders now, who are on their final lap. Or was that a little mistake there by Smith heading on into the Esso corner? He's certainly trying everything he's got to catch Alan Moffat's Cortina. Smith needs a really good exit out of the Esso hairpin and onto the back straight if he's going to be able to catch Alan Moffat's Cortina. This is one of the only places that his Mustang has the advantage over Alan Moffat's Cortina. Over the top of the hill there and down towards Knickerbrook. Hard on the brakes and through Knickerbrook, it looks like Smith has caught up to Alan Moffat a little bit. Is there a problem with Moffat's Cortina? Has he backed off too much? Only a few corners left to go now. Can Moffat keep Robin Smith's Mustang at bay and take the win here today at Oulton Park? Into Druids now, and Smith is ever closer to the back end of Alan Moffat, but Alan Moffat is doing just enough to maintain the gap between the two of them. Hard on the brakes now for Lodge Corner, and indeed Alan Moffat in his Lotus Cortina is going to take the win here today, with Robin Smith's Mustang coming in second. And here we have Jackie Oliver, and he's going to take third place in his Ford Mustang. And now back to the Annette and Stewart fight for 10th as they head up Clay Hill towards Druids. Hard on the brakes for Druids. Can Annette do it? Coming through the corner, Annette takes the wider line and he's side by side with Stewart. Gets the better exit out of Druids. Gets around Stewart's Lotus Cortina as they hard on the brakes now for Lodge Corner. And yes, he's gonna do it. What a fantastic fight and a great drive by Bernard Annette as he overtakes Stewart for 10th place. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, the final results of today's race, and what a fantastic race it was. Alan Moffat coming all the way from the back of the grid to take the win here today, scoring himself 8 points plus an extra point for getting the fastest lap. Second was Robin Smith in his Ford Mustang. Third was Jackie Oliver, also in a Mustang, and fourth was Dan Gurney in the Ford Fairlane. Right, let's see what that's done to the championship after 2 rounds. No real surprises that Robin Smith tops the table after a win in the first round and a second place here today. Jackie Oliver is in second with 10 points. Alan Moffat's fantastic drive today gets him up into third with 9 points. Bernard Annette unfortunately didn't do as well as he did in the first round, but he's still there in fourth place with 5 points. And rounding out the top 5 is Dan Gurney with 4 points. Well, there you have it, folks. What a great race here for the second round of the British Saloon Car Championship. Thank you for watching and joining me here today, and I hope you'll join me for the next round in a few weeks' time. I hope you have a wonderful day, and goodbye.